But what do you know? Look who's back at practice today, just in time to help maybe save the Eagles secondary and hopefully their entire season. Also, hear why Matt Patricia thinks his brand new defense can help the players get back on track to making big plays. And Nick Sirianni, he delivered an adamant defense of Brian Johnson in the struggling Birds offense. You got to hear this. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. Well, just when you thought all hope might be lost after our fourth loss of the season, Philadelphia decided to pull out a Hail Mary and go with their, wait for it, all-black uniforms with green helmets for the Birds' Christmas afternoon game versus the New York Giants. And of course, real Eagle fans know this is significant because Philadelphia is historically really good when wearing their alternate uniforms. The last time they wore the All Blacks plus the green helmets, they rushed for 363 yards against the Green Bay Packers last year. Which, by the way, doesn't Jalen Hurts look way healthier in this film versus the way he has really during any point of this season? I think there's got to be something about the fact that his knee is way worse than people are actually leading on. Either way, the Birds were back in the gym on Wednesday for a quick lifting session and then headed out today for their first of 3 straight padded practices before the Christmas weekend. And what do you know? Look who is back with pads on, ready to go for the final push before the postseason, but Avonte Maddox, who was officially activated to the 21-day practice window just 3 months after tearing his pec, and only has a chance to technically maybe play this weekend, but for sure be ready to go for the playoffs, and this could be a really huge boost for a secondary that also saw Keely Ringo and Eli Ricks play some really great football on Monday night. Maddox's only real problem is health, right? He can't stay healthy, but when he actually plays on the field, he's one of the better slot cornerbacks in the National Football League and easily the Eagles' best slot cornerback, much better, more athletic than Bradley Roby. If he can play not only this weekend, but get up to speed, get his sea legs back on him in time for a matchup against the Cowboys or the 49ers or a very good Lions offense, it could make the Eagles secondary that much better and maybe be the key to their success in the postseason. Of course, Nick Sirianni met with the media as he does, this time for over 26 minutes, and boy, did he have some bizarre answers, got a little heated, and had a tough time answering some of the harder questions being pressed his way. Like, for example, people asked him, why did you take a deep shot to A.J. Brown when you just needed to get into field goal range in that final possession versus the Seattle Seahawks? And his answer was that they were trying to draw a pass interference call?
Yeah, there's at times there, Tim, you know, we've seen, you can get a pass interference there. It was what it was on that particular play, but if you get a pass interference call there, and if a team's giving you a one-on-one shot, very similar to what happened on the other side of the ball, they ended up getting a one-on-one shot that had some different things there, and we've seen it. We had one-on-one shot against the Rams, and you can get a pass interference, and now you're in position to kick it. So we have some of the best receivers in the NFL outside. And so there's times where you're going to do that. And we felt like in that situation we had an opportunity to. It didn't work out that particular time.
Now, at face value, this is a very ridiculous and dumb answer, and Twitter absolutely lit him up for this. However, you think Nick Sirianni is actually this dumb? Do you really believe that Nick Sirianni was trying to draw a pass interference call on that, triple coverage deep shot to A.J. Brown? No, he's protecting Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts made a dumb, boneheaded play, and instead of saying, yeah, Hurts made a bad decision, that's on him, not my fault, Nick Sirianni's a bigger person, he's the coach of a football team, and he's going to fall on his sword for his guys. Which I'm fine with, but then you have Nick Sirianni also being pressed by a reporter about holding Jalen accountable for those sort of plays, and not only did he dodge the question, but he got a little frustrated with it as well.
Nick, if I could just follow up real quick, if and I understand that you don't have to voice all your criticisms of Jalen when he does something wrong, but publicly, but is it being told to him in the meeting room that when
I'm going to keep our conversations, like I said to the other guy, I'm going to keep my conversations with the players between me and the players. Accountability is our number 3 core value, and it's only number 3 because it came in that order. Connect, compete, accountability. They're not in any order. So accountability, you could, again, when Chris asked me the question, accountability, I didn't say something to Chris that I'm not saying to you right now. Accountability is the one of the main core values we have, and we live by those every single day.
Listen, you can tell he's feeling the heat, right? I mean, losing streaks in Philadelphia never sit well, and rightfully so, but to think that none of these guys haven't been hearing all the noise the past 3 weeks is ridiculous, and Nick Sirianni's starting to kind of prove it in press conferences like the one we saw yesterday. Now, of course, the biggest criticism he's obviously been hearing the past couple of weeks has been the offense and Brian Johnson and the fact that they are very inept at moving the football, and while the criticism becomes so fierce, Nick Sirianni finally had to address and really mount a vicious defense of both the Eagles offense and Brian Johnson as a whole. Listen to this clip.
Make no mistake about it, like this offense is being run the exact same way the offense was run last year and the year before that. This offense is my offense, right? This is my offense. And so the criticism on the offense, like, I think unfairly goes to Brian. Brian calls the plays. Brian calls the plays. It unfairly goes to Brian. The criticism on this offense should come at me, and because this is my offense. So I was hired to do a job here, and got hired because I was successful as an offensive coordinator with our schemes and the different things that we did to coach players and help players win. And I'm committed to that. And like I said, the criticism should come at me, and I think it unfairly goes at Brian a lot of the times because he's calling the plays. But make no mistake about it, this offense has been consistently similar throughout the 3 years. Yes, there's different things you do based off your personnel and different things you do based off the teams that you're playing and what's working for you. But again, it all starts there with me. And so I guess I would, I'm not thinking that a change needs to be made there for multiple reasons, and that's one big one.
And there you go. Sirianni just confirmed what we've really all been wondering, and that is the offense is his responsibility. It's his game planning. It's his scheme. Everything revolves around him, and Brian Johnson is just the mouth man. He just calls the plays that Nick Sirianni has designed earlier on this week, which I guess is something, again, we already knew, but it's nice to finally officially hear it, and now it feels like you kind of take all the hate and criticism of Brian Johnson and point it towards Nick Sirianni, because if it's his offense, then it's his fault the offense looks pretty bad. Speaking of coaching, Matt Patricia spoke to the media for the first time today as your de facto defensive coordinator, but not actually defensive coordinator. Kind of confused there. I'll be honest, though, I love this answer when he was asked about taking over the defense this past week and what it's going to look like.
I think it's really, I think defenses in football evolve every week, based on who you play and kind of the schemes and the problems that the offense presents. I think that's like one of the things that, for me, that I always look at. Sometimes I say this all the time. Sometimes it's more like the NBA than it is anything else. Like, what are the matchups and what are the people? And I think that we've been evolving, through the course of the season in different areas and different ways, and trying to maximize what we do each and every single week. So I think you still have to have some of that. I think you do have to evolve and do things that fit the players that you have to that particular week. But certainly, you want to keep the foundation of what you've spent a lot of time on, and just, a lot of times, try to just let the talent shine that we have on the field, which is great. We have great players, we have great coaches. So, really just excited watching them play and learn to get to know them, and be around guys like Fletcher Cox, who I have the utmost respect for, and have just, I remember coming out with the draft, I loved him then. I was like, let me get my hands on this guy, and a lot of those guys like that. So just being around tremendous people like that, that's what I think makes, that's what as coaches makes us better. You be around great players. I've been blessed to be around a lot of great players, and there's great players here. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can from all of them. And then, you try to figure out what do they do well, and how can they impact a game, and how can you get a matchup maybe in a game that helps you win in those situations.
He said all the right things. He also confirmed the fact that he no longer has beef with Darius Slay. I hugged it out with him before I came out to this press conference, was one of his quotes. He also confirmed that the game-winning touchdown call where Jackson Smith and Jigba ran right past James Bradbury was a mistake that he had made. Owned up to it, admitted his mistakes. I loved everything that I saw, and it doesn't guarantee he's going to be, the overall solution to the Eagles' defensive problems. I mean, he's going to guarantee the Eagles are going to hold opponents to 10 points. But again, take away that final drive, that final attempt by the Seattle Seahawks. I know they let Drew Lock go right down the field. You take that away, and he was a near perfect game on Monday night against the Seattle Seahawks. Likewise, Jalen Hurts also spoke to the media, and he explained that he wasn't necessarily calling out his teammates after the Seahawks loss when he questioned everyone's commitment. He was actually calling out himself for the bad play.
My mind was in a place of really just trying to challenge myself, and I think when you think about holistically about the things we want to accomplish and everything that we're trying to do, that all runs through me, that all starts with me. And so when I say we, I mean me, because I'm the point guard out there. I'm the one that makes everything go, and I'm the guy that everyone trusts in to do and set the pace for everything. That's in how I play. That's in my leadership. That's in every aspect of the game, and that comes with the shoes that I walk in. And so this is a challenge to myself, and you know, you challenge yourself and you challenge the people around you. But you know, I think it's I think it's just a situation where we are, you know, where it's just something that we're going through, not something we're stuck in. And you know, it's beauty in all of this. You know, it's beauty in all of it, and I embrace every ounce of it. And you know, it's an opportunity just to, you know, again, keep the main thing, and focus on the little things, focus on the details, focus on how we prepare. You know, commit to our process and everything excellent that we desire.
He just needs to be cleaner, man. He needs to play turnover-free football. He needs to take what the defense gives him. And if he could get back to form and really just start settling back into finding A.J. Brown and having big games through both the air and the ground, I think the Eagle offense can kind of find their stride the next 3 weeks and hopefully reset themselves heading into the postseason. Now, we got plenty more stuff happening over the next couple of days and weeks. Make sure you guys go down below and subscribe. Even though it's Christmas week, I guess you could call it, we're still going to be producing a lot of content both here and on the road at my parents' house. So be sure to hit the notification bell and stay tuned for everything that happens with Philadelphia. Sure, they've been struggling. They've lost 3 in a row. But if they go on a 3-game win streak, I keep saying it, if they start getting things together now, the postseason could be actually fun instead of the dread that we've all been having for the past couple of weeks. I'm Thomas Mott, hanging out on a Thursday. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.